G'day guys, Andrew from Aus Evo. So I've been detailing my car. Not something I enjoy doing particularly. I think it's a pain in the ass as far as that activity goes. You're the guys who do it for a job. Kudos to you guys, because it's friggin' hard work and you got to focus the whole time. You fuck it up. Anyway, so I spent a few days doing mine, a few hours each day. Probably took 8 hours or so. Came up really good. Probably the best it's been since I've owned it, I would say. I'll spin this around. So it's normally in pretty good condition, this car. It stays inside both at work and when I was driving it to work and at home. I look after it, I wash it and keep it clean. I use the twin 2-bucket technique. So I'm trying not to scratch the paint, but inevitably it always ends up looking pretty swirly after a few years, which has been as long as it's been since I last gave it a detail. Looks good now, no swirls at all. Paint's perfect. Polished up a few parts I hadn't polished before, including these panels here around the windows. Yeah, so I'm really happy with the way it's come up. You can see lack of any kind of holograms or artifacts on the paint. Hard to see, it's not the best light for it, but anyway, it is pretty good. So what I've done this time has been a little bit different. I've used this stuff here. So this is my kit that I use for detailing my car. Basically, I gave it a turn that around that way. I gave it a snow foam clean last week, and Clay clothed it. I use this cloth here. This is something Kurt Sealand put me onto. You can get these from Auto Barn. I think Bowden's do one, but I don't like their one. This is, I don't know what the brand is, but it's when they sell it at Auto Barn. It's like a clay rubber thing. It makes it much easier to do a good clay cleaning of your car than using little bits of blue tack like clay. So I clay cleaned it with that, and I then washed it with this stuff here, this Mint APC. Now that's basically to get all the old wax off. Pretty sure it's just washing up liquid. It smells exactly the same as washing up liquid that I've got at work. Same colour, even green. This is a watered down version, so it's just a really strong detergent to take wax and any kind of residual protection you've got on the car off. Now originally I was using these polishes here, a 400, 2400 and a 3500 cut, using this random orbital polisher from Car Care Products in Sydney. This is good. These things are shit. So they're dusty, they take a lot of work. You use different pads for different cuts. Just takes forever. You're basically polishing every panel 3 times if it's really bad, or the paint's really bad, or twice if it's not so bad. I spoke to Kurt Sealand about what current ideas with these type of things are, and he put me onto this product here, which is the Anglewax Enigma AIO, which is the all-in-one. It's about a 2500 cut. It's also got a ceramic polish built into it, or not polish, a ceramic protection layer that gets put onto the thing, a wax basically. Works really well. I've been very happy with that product, recommend it. It's bought from Detail Central down in Victoria. Works a treat. Most of the work I do polishing on the car is done with these 150mm pads. And they're just a Velcro back thing. I like the foam pads. You can get microfiber and different ones, but I like the foam. There's a few different types. These are the Roops ones, Roops brands. They're a bit coarser. This one's a kind of rough one for if your paint's in really bad nick. I actually just used one that was a similar pad to this one here, but the 150mm version, which is their polishing pad. The pad's gone in the bin now, it's stuffed, it was falling apart, but it was the same as that, so I used that in 150 to do most of the panels. And then I've got this smaller, I think it's an 80mm or a 70mm pad. Comes with a little backing plate there. Goes in there just for getting around the bumpers and areas where it's a bit harder to get to with the bigger pads. Yeah, and then I just use these, I think they're Repco brand microfiber towels to polish it back or rub it back after that, and the job's done. Comes up good. So yeah, so that stuff's worth getting if you're going to be doing work on your own car. This is a kit that I bought, like I said, from Dick Car Care Products in Sydney. I think it was like $300 or $250 or something. Wasn't too bad. Toss those in the bin if it comes with those. Get some of that stuff there. Get to it. And yeah, it does a good job. Okay, that's it.